All right. Hi, everybody. Erin here from Connected Through Strength, aka the new studio by CTS. Today, we are going to be going through a bunch of core options that you can incorporate throughout your yoga classes, both laying on your back in table/plank, also in downward dog, and then also standing. So, core options are great to include in any class, but especially vinyasa, hatha, power, or fusion classes where you want to make sure you're getting the entire body challenged in a safe and effective way. So let's get started. I'm going to start on my back and then go to table from here. So obviously, whenever we're working on core or any forceful movement, we want to exhale on the contraction. So basic crunch is one that obviously is used often. You're keeping your elbows wide, hands are barely touching the back of your head, and you're lifting, pulling your ribs towards your hips towards your ribs, really getting that rectus abdominis, the big core muscle. From here, you can make it a little bit more challenging by lifting your knees into a tabletop, 90-degree bend, still maintaining a back flat. You can also lift your legs straight up to the sky. All of these are getting progressively harder. And then finally, you can do basic crunch, lowering your legs, maybe 45 degrees or more, and maintaining a strong, deep breath. So those get harder with each one. Next up is going to be our basic bicycle. So we're twisting across the body, driving elbow towards opposite knee. So obviously getting rotation is very important. You can also get rotation by taking figure 4 and guiding the opposite elbow and shoulder towards that knee that's on top. So I'm guiding right towards left, and then obviously what you do on one side must be repeated on the other. Another option for core, so those work the obliques and transverse abdominis. For another core option is going to be single leg lifts. You can go slow, or some people call them scissors when you go a little bit faster, still maintaining back flat, neutral gaze, and slow, steady breathing. Making it a little bit harder is double leg lifts. So you can lower the legs to a point where you're not arching or hurting your back, and then bring them back up to neutral. From here, one final option is a reverse crunch. Those are very hard for me. So that's where you're lifting your glutes off of the mat, and you're trying to get your legs straight up to the sky. Reverse crunches are definitely those and double leg lifts, some of the most intense out of all the ones I showed you. Next up, still on your back, is going to be butterfly. So feet together, knees apart, hands go behind the head. Option 1, just lift the upper body. Option 2, just lift the lower body. And you'll feel the difference in your core. Option 3, lift everything at the same time, and also try to get a little bit of that reverse crunch by lifting your hips up and trying to pull knees towards elbows. As a reminder, you're never pulling with your hands on your head. You're using your core to lift your upper body. From here, progressively harder is what I call lizard crunches. So you would pull up into that butterfly, but rather than extending both legs down, you would extend one leg forward and then the other. You could also do both legs at the same time, so it would almost be like a double leg lift to that butterfly double crunch. Oh my Lord! So those are some of the ones you can do on your back. Coming up to seated, you can obviously do your basic Navasana, boat pose. Hands can be behind you. See how my heart is really nice and lifted? You can do leg extensions, double leg extensions. You can also bring one or both hands to the thighs or forward. You can do the same thing there. And then finally, you can also incorporate low to high boat, where your shoulders are down, neck is neutral, arms either go forward towards your legs or behind you. I like behind, and then I try to tap my heels as I come up. So making sure that you're once again, inhale on the preparation, exhale on the contraction. So whenever you're exhaling, it's that forceful part. So for most of the time, it's going to be when you're bringing your legs back towards each other, or on a crunch, it's when you're exhale, lifting your head, neck, and shoulders. Whew. Let me grab a little water. From here, we're going to move into some tabletop and plank options. So, first of all, neutral spine, shoulders down and back, knees close together. These are progressively going to get harder, so I'm starting with easier options. 1, leg extensions, bird dog, just the bottom half. Once again, you're engaging through that core and you're getting some glute and hamstring. Option 2, keeping your knees under your hips, reaching one arm forward. Once again, core work. Option 3, putting them together. You're reaching opposite arm and leg. So you're getting that nice long flat back, crown of the head reaching forward. All right, final option for bird dog. Knees close, you only do one side and you pull it in for a bit of a rotation. Once again, working your obliques and transverse abdominis. So it's important that we're not just doing crunches, working straight up and down, but we want to work in a rotational manner as well as in a cross body. All right, so those are important. From here, we have our plank series. Obviously, there are millions of options. I'm just going to give you a few of each. There's 3 that I like to use the most. We have our basic high plank, shoulders are down, pressing back through your heels. Basic mountain climbers. Option 2, mountain climbers with a twist, knee to opposite elbow. And finally, lizard mountain climbers, driving the knee to the same elbow, bringing your foot out to the side. I'm going to show you this way as well so you can see the difference. So basic right down, twist across, and then lizard is same knee to same elbow. So there's obviously differences in each. Basic mountain, working rectus abdominis. Twisted mountain, internal external obliques and transverse abdominis. Finally, lizard, working obliques and glute med, which is why it's one of my favorites. Whew. I'm giving myself a workout today. Next up is forearm plank series. I will say you can technically do almost every high plank exercise in a low plank, especially if you have any wrist issues or you can't weight load on your wrists or you're trying to give yourself variety. I personally try to do most of my plank work in a class on my forearms so that I can save my high planks for chaturangas and tricep push-ups. So next up, we have our forearm plank series, as I was saying. So shoulders are right over those wrists. Tuck the tailbone, pull the belly in. You can just hold. You can rock forward and back. You can also rock forward and pull back into almost a mini dolphin pose. Forward and back. And then finally you can add knee bends, one and then the other, or both knee bends. You can do toe taps out to the sides. You can do heel lifts up to the sky. Oh my Lord, those are hard. I would not suggest necessarily holding anyone in a plank of any type for too long. We don't want to cause fatigue, because fatigue can then cause injuries and pain. So we want to make sure we're thoughtful of how long we are requiring people to be in a forearm or high plank. Next is the side plank series. I'm going to start on my knee. So you can also do this with your elbow on the ground or your elbow on a block, but you want to make sure wrist, elbow, and shoulder are aligned. So first and foremost, I'm going to shift my weight and lengthen and lift. Now maybe it's just leg lifts. So I'm still working my oblique, but I'm also getting in that outer hip. Maybe it's knee to opposite elbow. This one's one of my favorites. You can also then go into a nice half bind, getting in almost a supported candy cane pose. And then finally, this one's more challenging, so be aware. Hand behind the head, hover the bottom knee, and pull the knee to the elbow. You can also then extend and come into your fallen triangle pose. So many, many different types of options for side plank, and then obviously there's just traditional side plank. You can always do that on your forearm as well. You can always hover your top leg and so forth. So that is all different types of plank and side plank. Now we're going to make these even more challenging. We're going to add in some downward dog and more movement. One of my all-time favorites is what is called animal plank. So it's where you push back and you're almost in a hovering table. Come forward. So not only are you using your core and obviously upper body, but your quads are getting a great workout. You can also do hovering table, hands under shoulders, wrap your elbows in and back, lengthen, lift your knees. You can stay right here. You can alternate leg extensions. You can also bring your feet further back, straighten and bend the knees. Whew. Finally, I'm going to grab a little bit of water. That was intense. No wonder I've been doing core work nonstop. You can also do this from downward dog. So you can go down dog, right leg high, knee to nose. You want to pull your shoulders forward. You can do elevators up and down. You can also do knee across the body, knee to the same elbow, and then obviously repeat on the other side. I'm so happy. I think those are all of the ones that I came up with for today's video, at least, in table and plank. So the next few we're going to be standing. Standing core work, totally underrated in my opinion. Super good ways of incorporating core work in a way that is actually safer for most people and safer on wrist. So first of all, you can incorporate into a sumo squat, oblique dips. Ooh, try not to fall over. So you come down into a sumo, hands behind the head, and you're going side to side. You can also do a cross-body sumo where you're getting in that rotational movement. Side lunge, you can add in the rotation as well. So you can bend into one knee and then rotate towards that knee. That's a great way to then open and expand. Obviously doing it on the other side. Make sure I'm balanced as well. And then there's crescent lunge pulls. All right, so you're gonna turn, shifting into that front leg. Your back leg is still strong though. You're hovering at a diagonal and you're slowly pulling that knee in. You can also keep your hands at your heart and lengthen, but you're pulling the leg using your belly. So it's not just the legs working, it's the core as well. So it's slow. And then finally, similar to a high plank knee to elbow, you can do it standing. Same knee, same elbow. You can always go from here into Utthita Hasta B out to the side, or tree pose, for example. And then you can also do knee across the body. And then you can always go into Utthita Hasta B, twisting and getting in that extension. So those are some standing core options. Oh, one more. With or without blocks, warrior 3 crunches. So this is one of my favorites. It's similar to bird dog. Hands are on the highest height of blocks, or maybe hovering at the heart. Your hips are squared, you're pushing back through that back heel. On the exhale, you're driving the knee in. Using the belly and also getting a core work, and obviously both sides. So my friends, 15 minutes almost of nonstop core. That definitely adds up. I hope you found this video helpful, informative, and inspiring. Oh wow, crazy hair. If you have questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. And thanks for joining me at the new studio by CTS. Bye everybody.